with the Suicide Girls. Welcome, ladies. Big round of applause for them. Yeah!
So we have Lyric and Sunny. Welcome to the Zoo, Suicide Girls. We have a lot to talk about today.
Yes, and we got to get to it right away. So we're going to count to 3. We're going to scream "Wah," and we're going to sit down. You got that?
Got it.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Wah!
I love my dress, you girls. Thank you so much.
Yay.
Can't wait to wear it. Ooh, nice and sexy.
But every time I think
Just
about
gonna put
the
it like this.
Suicide Girls, I think about undressing, honey.
Absolutely. Yes. Bear it all.
That's very smart of you, because it's, you know. I have to say I was with them last week. We had a little segment going on that you'll see in the future. And I learned to dance burlesque, Suicide Girl style. So Lyric and Sunny, but tell everybody out there, what are the Suicide Girls? What's the community like? How did it start? Because some people have no clue the way I had no clue before. So.
Absolutely.
Tell us.
The Suicide Girls is actually suicidegirls.com. It's a website. It took off in 2001, and it celebrates alternative pinup modeling. It was founded by this woman, Selena, who's Missy Suicide, and she wanted women to not be in that in those sects of women that were only celebrated at the moment, that was only like the Kate Moss or Pamela Anderson style. She thought, my friends are so beautiful and they're not celebrated and they're not printed anywhere, and why is that? So she took it upon herself to make that like kind of a mission and like just photograph her beautiful friends. And she realized that Betty Page's photographs came out so, she had a whole different spirit when there was a woman photographing her. And she was being sexy for herself, and that was something that was like, that really inspired her. So she, as she was photographing her friends, she kind of took that as an inspiration, and all of a sudden these women were not necessarily modeling for a man anymore. They were really like confident and doing something for themselves for a change, and it really reads so differently.
Do you have to have tattoos and crazy like hair colors, or what, like what are the requirements to be a Suicide Girl?
A lot of people, when they think of a Suicide Girl, they think of a tattoo model or a girl covered in tattoos with piercings and crazy hair.
That's what I thought, and I'm like, oh man, how am I gonna pull it off?
How's it gonna happen? Yeah.
Well, one of the things, I've actually been a fan of Suicide Girls. I've seen the live show several years ago. They did one during Comic-Con, which was amazing. It was sold out, and I personally am more attracted to women with more exotic looks, tattoos. You know, I love like the makeup, like cat eyes and all that stuff. And so it was cool to see that celebrated, not the typical blonde, classic type of, you know, actress type. I was gonna ask if you have to have tattoos. I mean, are there any women without tattoos that are Suicide Girls?
Yes. We actually have a lot of, you know, Suicide Girls with no tattoos at all, even with brown hair, no colored hair, no piercings.
What makes them Suicide Girls?
Because those women are just like us, and they're not afraid to be who they are and commit social suicide.
What?
You know?
What does that mean?
Yeah. Huh?
What is social suicide mean? That sounds so hard.
That is like, I never want to do that. Never. Get me away from that.
But you know, if you think of like, there's, you know, on all social medias, you see things that are trending, right?
Okay.
And there's certain styles that are trending, and people are gonna always, you know, go with the flow with everyone else, right? Because women who, especially Suicide Girls, are not afraid to commit social suicide because we don't go with the trend. We wear what we want to wear, and we express ourselves in ways that, you know, yes, we're not afraid to be sexy. We're not afraid to, you know, say, oh God, how'd you guys get that?
And we're very like lifestyle ambiguous too, which is what
Yes.
people don't understand. We have Suicide Girls that are attorneys. We have Suicide Girls that are educators. We have Suicide Girls that are, you know, nurses. We have Suicide Girls that are dancers, that are performers. There's all kinds of SGs in the world. It's a matter of embracing your own personality and really celebrating that in this community of women that also do the same.
And ultimately, I think people see that, and it inspires them to come out of their shell and say, hey, guys and girls, say, hey, whoa, like they're really going for it.
They really
I'm
did
gonna go for it
inspire
too.
me.
And,
Yeah,
and when we
100%.
actually get to do the live shows, it's so, we really are so grateful for that opportunity, because then we get to present it live in person, and I can't tell you how many women come up to us, especially us, because we have the booties. Women come up to us post-show and they just go, oh my gosh, how do you go up there and just shake that cellulite like that, all proudly? Thank you. I now want to go home and like actually look at my butt now.
Wow.
And it's that like literally tears me up every time, because that's huge.
Couples, when I noticed in the Suicide, there was a lot of couples in the audience, and it was
They
very
were getting ideas,
celebrated.
Humberto.
Oh, no, well, yeah, totally. But really quick, because we only have a couple of minutes. Do we have any footage of Vivian with Lyric and Sunny? Can we see some of that?
Yes.
A little preview to the segment that we're showing.
Ay, a ver, a ver.
a lot of fun.
Preview.
Oh, I see.
That's good though. That's good. Now, how was Vivi when you popped? You gotta work it, girl.
Yes,
But
honey.
mine's so hot.
How was Vivi when you popped her burlesque cherry, honey?
Oh man.
Was she very shy about it, or did she surprise you?
No, she went in there with a mission, right?
Yes, she
I was on a mission, but I am blushing and everything because
Ay, ahora muy penosa, ¿verdad?
Ay, pues sí. Saqué a la India María que llevo dentro.
You know, but here's a perfect example. This is a gorgeous woman who
Yes.
comes across as very confident, and so many women, I'm sure, look up to her, and yet she comes in and admits, like, hey, I'm insecure about certain things too, and I don't put myself out there the way you do. How do I work on X, Y, and Z? And like that is an example of how we think we know, like all women and how they feel and how confident they are, and we don't know.
Girls,
We
I
have
wanna know.
insecurities and everything, and the walking and the looking at yourself and touching yourself and being.
I like the touching
It
myself.
was
honey.
fun, but it was like.
Can
But then
say
I
that
nailed it.
This was a landmark thing because when she joined our show, she was what Mexicans refer to as a fresa, kind of proper, you know, a little conservative. And I think that you got her over the hump. She's liberated now. All right,
wanna
next
know-
thing we gotta do is put her tattoo.
Recruit her to suicidegirls.com.
There you go. Recruit her to Suicide
So
Girls. But
beautiful.
listen, just go ahead and make it. You know, I know that you don't have to have tattoos, but for her, let's make her put on a couple tattoos.
Yes.
Do you also, do you ladies also dance for your partners in the privacy of your home, or do they dance for you?
I mean, I don't store these
Yeah.
skills for no reason.
Shockingly, I'm not kidding. Like that, like nobody knows this, and I don't think I've ever said this out loud in public, but I get shy when it's a one-on-one like partner situation.
Thank you.
But I can do it any day on stage in front of anybody. It's
So
so,
you're an
interesting.
exhibitionist a little bit.
But that's why I invite those people to the show.
Okay.